Okay, Aunt April requested to know how to make homemade donuts. And so rather than write it down or text it or whatnot, I'm going to make a video of how to make homemade donuts. I learned this from Abe Perryman in Boy Scouts, probably 10 years ago. On a Boy Scout camp out, he was going to make donuts. I thought he was crazy. But Abe and his family, they went camping regularly. And so, doggone, those donuts were delicious. And so I make them to this day. So thus, we're going to make homemade donuts today. How do you turn this thing around? I don't know. Anyway, so here we have it. This is where we're going to put the vegetable oil. First, gather all your ingredients. And always, whenever a cute girl interrupts, pay her attention. Oh yes, what is it, little lady?
Can I help?
Can you help? She wants to know if she can help. Of course she can help. Half the fun making homemade donuts is the fun, doing it with others. Okay, Laney, what's the first thing we put in the pan?
Love.
Love, that is correct. We always put love in the pan first. So here we are. We take it from our heart and put it in. There we go. We got love in the pan. And we have our ingredients. Vegetable oil, the pan. Let's talk about that. This is 1 foot in diameter. It's bigger than normal pan. It needs to be big. Because if it's big, then you got more surface area to put more donuts. 6 at a time, preferably. So we haven't fired it up yet. We got our ingredients. Vegetable oil. Yes, you'll need a lot. Okay, biscuits. Let's talk about biscuits. Southern, up here. Southern Homestyle. You can buy your Kroger brand, your generic brand, whatever, it doesn't matter. But it must be Homestyle, not flaky. If it says Homestyle flaky, no, because the flaky, when they're flaky, they'll just fall apart. Trust me on that. So, Southern Homestyle, that's the kind you need, however many you want to make. So here we're going to make 16 today. You also need a water bottle, not for the water, but for the cap. I'll explain more of that later. And we need parchment paper, which I have not gotten out. Where's our parchment paper?
Well, I think Mira has it.
Gone. Wax paper or parchment paper is helpful. How do you know where parchment paper is?
Because Mira has it.
Seriously?
Yeah, she makes stickers with it.
Okay. The video's rolling, so Doritos Lumberjack, Doritos. Chip, chop, chip. But I'm not allowed to say that anymore. So we have our ingredients. We almost have our parchment paper. In the oven, step to the right there, little lady. In the oven, we have a pan that we're going to put them in. We're heating it to 170 because that's the lowest temperature this oven will heat at. It keeps the donuts warm after you make them. Over here, this is where we're going to put them when we take them out of the oil. Let's go ahead and start that process with the oil, shall we?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Daniel has brought the parchment paper. How much parchment paper do you need? About that much. These are all approximations. Speaking of approximations, not proclamations, approximations. That parchment paper is like a 7-year-old girl. It doesn't behave, doesn't do what you tell it to do. My assistant is so beautiful. One thing I did not mention is you have to have your sugar and cinnamon mix ready to go. So if we set this right here, you can see that I take it from the bag and I put it in the bowl like this. How much do you need? Enough, but not too much. I don't know. I've never measured it. But it's like a sandwich-sized bag, and it was mostly full. It's been reused a lot, so I'm going to put that in the trash. So it looks like there's some kind of nerdly in there. That's okay. We're good now. Okay, now.
Oh, that's just close.
How much cinnamon and how much sugar? Well, just put a lot of sugar in there, and then you put cinnamon in there. I need a spoon, little lady. Oh, I have one. Thank you. And then you just. We do need a bigger one. Then you just, when you sprinkle cinnamon in there, you gotta, from bottom to top, all around the everything, so you got an even mixture. That's how it's supposed to work. It's an even mixture. That's almost good to go, but we're gonna need some more. So, we'll do good. Well, first of all, let's get this oil heated up because it takes a while. We also have to have the digital thermometer, which we were not able to find yesterday, because you want to heat up your oil to 350 degrees.
This?
You want to see the can? Yeah, there's the can.
This thing?
No, well, that might work. What does it go up to? Not even close. Digital thermometer, children will need to search out for the digital thermometer. 350 degrees is the goal. Oil here, this is used oil, which is okay. You can reuse oil, but there's some sediments in the bottom. So we're not going to use all the sediments, but we are going to use the new oil, previously unused. And we're just going to put that in there, and then we're going to fire this thing up. How much fire do you need? Enough fire to get it to 350 degrees. I highly recommend a digital thermometer when making homemade donuts. That's Abby coughing in the background. She's had some upper respiratory issues, as has Laney, as has Daniel. I haven't gotten it yet because I'm invincible. Think that's true?
No.
Okay. Well, that's heating up. Make sure it's centered over the flame. And it is. What? You're what anymore? Well, Daniel says he's not sick anymore. Abby still sounds sick. So that means, Daniel, you can put all your efforts into finding that digital thermometer. Okay. I'm going to get some more sugar and some more cinnamon.
Are you gonna watch it after you do it? Well,
What are you saying?
are you gonna watch it after you do it?
Are you saying wash it or watch it?
Watch it. Are you gonna watch it after you finish it? Like finish
Alright.
the
You're using a pronoun, and I don't know what that refers to. It? Am I gonna watch it?
Are you gonna
The
watch
bowl?
this video
Oh, watch the video.
after you're done?
Another
making
thing
it?
about old DQ is I'm hearing impaired and my hearing aids are in the car. So I can't hear
Oh,
everything.
that's a lot of sugar.
How much sugar are you putting in there, Dave? And why are you putting so much in there? Okay, I don't know how much I'm putting in there. Because that doesn't matter. The thing is, when you take donuts and you put donuts in there after they've cooked, 2 at a time, you want enough cinnamon sugar mixture to be able to immerse the donuts in there. I'm trying to get this lid on here.
You want me to mix it in?
And success. Not yet. Laney's volunteering to mix it up. What I need to do is I need to put more cinnamon in there. Make sure you pick out cinnamon. For example, if you pick cayenne pepper and you say, well, that looks like cinnamon. It's not cinnamon, believe you me. And you will get nothing but complaints. And nobody wants complaints, do they? Oh, here's some ground cinnamon. Hot diggity. Okay, see? Ground cinnamon.
Oh, that's
What kind of
cinnamon
cinnamon
right there, too,
do you
but it's cinnamon
recommend,
and
DQ?
Sugar. That's cinnamon and sugar.
What kind of cinnamon do I recommend? It doesn't matter because it all comes from the same manufacturing places around the world. Wow, mine's Madagascar or whatever, you know, it's cinnamon. So, how much is that? It's about that much. Well, Dave, it looks like you really heaped it on there. Mix that around, Laney, and they'll see that actually it's not as much as you thought it was. It has to be thoroughly mixed, which means
Stop
after
that.
Laney mixes it, then I'll mix it.
Stop.
I didn't even get a good protest out of that. It's no fun unless I get a good protest out of it. Laney has assisted me several times in making homemade donuts, so I'm glad that she's assisting me today. The best thing about Laney assisting is her beautiful smile. Show us your beautiful smile, Laney.
No.
Yeah.
See, you stole one of her pieces of candy. I don't really care. I have a lot left. If it's mine, I don't really care if it's one piece.
Okay, seriously, we need the digital thermometer. Now, on campouts, we don't have a digital thermometer. So there's a method of testing the shortening to see if it's ready. Look at that! That is beautifully, thoroughly mixed. I don't have to do a thing. Well done, Laney. Okay, next.
No, you put the donuts in there.
Well, we gotta make the donuts first. How do we make the donuts?
First, we need this cap.
We get up at 4
And then
a.m.
we open these.
We mix together flour and a teaspoon of bacon. No, we don't do that. We get home-style biscuits
Yeah, you need those and this bottle cap.
and the bottle cap. Show the bottle cap to the camera. We take the bottle cap off the water bottle because that's what we're going to use to make our holes for our donuts.
Yeah.
What 5 words describe our donuts, Laney?
Wait, I said I did it wrong.
That's right, except you say it like you mean it. 5 words to describe our donuts. Okay. Voila. We put it there. What do we do with the water? But this is hot. Let's move this
Does
over
it go
here.
this way or this way? It's probably this way. That's this way.
Nope.
What?
Center, the exact center of the.
Right
What are
here?
you doing, Laney?
It's right there.
Just kidding. That's perfect. Okay, you have to press it with like you mean it with 2 thumbs. There you go, all the way down, and then you rotate your thumbs around to make sure that your indentation goes all the way through. Now, truth be told, in the old days, they had longer bottle caps. Then they went all friendly to the environment and they made shorter. So if I had a longer one, I would use it. Then poof, look at that. You've cut out a hole. Look at that. You have your donut ready to go. And this is important, especially since we don't have a digital thermometer, which Daniel is still diligently looking for. He's holding up the 130 degree to 190 degree thermometer, hoping that's going to work somehow. But in real life, we got to measure 350.
Yes, I know.
If we can't measure 350, we're going to have to experiment.
So if you see, and then you can go 2, and then it's 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 350.
So Daniel's explaining that we can interpolate with our current thermometer and estimate up to 350 degrees. What he does not understand is that it's not what that thermometer is calibrated for, and once you go above 190 degrees, it is no longer accurate in your estimations because it's based on methodology and physics that just don't work past those temperatures. Unfortunately. So it's either a digital thermometer or nothing at all. Hope it works out. Hope we find that digital thermometer. Mom's taking a shower right now, so in a bit I may go ask her if she knows where the digital thermometer is. I used it when I made a bath for Abby the other
I
night.
was about to say,
You make
Shouldn't
it
you know? Because
103 degrees, but I've not found it in the bathroom. I don't know if Mom's okay. Abby has informed me that Mom's done, so Laney is going to continue to make the donuts with the donut holes. I'll be back.
yeah. How is that supposed to
set.
break through?
We have found the digital thermometer. Mom found it.
How are you supposed to break
All right,
through?
you have to use your thumb.
I did.
And you have to push like you mean it. Like that. Show it who's boss.
I'll do it.
Daniel's going to do one and he will show you. Step left, Laney. Thank you. All right, digital thermometer, very important. Don't let it touch the bottom. Any more light?
It's too hard.
See, moving up, we got 273, 274. So we're hovering around 275. We're gonna need to add more heat to get up to 350. Digital thermometer you can get off Amazon, of course, or you can do like me, very immediate gratification oriented, and you can go to Kroger. And it's a bit overpriced, but you can poof, you'll have one. How'd that work out, Daniel? Perfectly, like always.
Three more.
We'll make these later, but first we're gonna get ready to throw some in there. Okay, stations are very important. Where things are located, so things work well together. Paper towels. I didn't mention paper towels. When we take the donuts out of the oil, well, they're going to drip a bit. And most of the drainage go off, but you need paper towels on your paper plate so it can drain off a bit more. Let's look at our station keeping. We like to keep things orderly around here. So this is where we're going to have our donut holes and donuts raw dough. We'll place them in the oil about 2.5 minutes on each side, depending on the temperature and how they look. We take them out and we put them here. As they're done here draining, we put them 2 at a time into the cinnamon sugar mixture, which is exactly precisely the right mixture. Isn't that right, Daniel? Yep. So we will put this over here so we can see the general activities. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna check my temperature of the oil. And this thermometer only goes up to 350 degrees. So it kind of hovers there, you know. Okay, it says that it's at temperature because it gave me an error message. Starting over again. Oh, it only goes up to 300 degrees. Okay. So I've turned my temperature down to 4, it's gas. And then we put in 6 donuts. The way you put them in is important, so nobody gets burned. You put the edge in and drop. Edge in and drop. When you drop it, you don't keep your hand there because it could splash up at you. Hand in, drop, put one in, and drop. That's 4. We're coming up on 6. And voila. Make sure we have a fork with us. They should bubble about like that. I try to keep them circular, like this, so it's more evener. Voila. Hey Dave, there's room for a couple more in there. You could put them in there, yeah, but due to timing, you don't want to do that, trust me. If you try to put throughput of too many in there all at one time, then it's not going to work because some will be in there too long and all that. So, let's take a look at our temperature, see how we're doing. 290, 300. Okay, we're at 300. That's good. Just slightly above 300. I got my heat on level 2. Now, how do you know when to turn the donuts? Great question. You don't. You look at it. Golden brown. What kind of golden brown are you looking for? Wish I knew. But anyway, you look at it and you say, nope, not quite there. Almost there. Almost there. But then you go a little longer. And you learn from experience. In case you don't have a digital thermometer, what you can do is you can take your donut hole, take 3 of those and throw it in there, and see if it soaks up the oil or gets burned. Somewhere between soaks it up because it's not hot enough, or burns up, it's too hot. Somewhere between there is where you want your temperature. And on campouts, that's how we test the temperature of the oil. So then, let's take a look here. I didn't set a timer. Sometimes I do. I'm kind of like that. Let's flip this over and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's ready. Cool. Now I've made a mistake here. You want to flip towards the center of the pan so that the oil slops. It doesn't slop out of the pan. It slops back into the pan. Dan said, ow. That means that something got on him. Voila. That's how you flip those boys over. Now, I'm using my phone to video. Otherwise, I might set a timer for a couple minutes so I know about when to take them out. Now, notice those are going to be ready soon. So what I need to do now is, we need to make the other, because I only got 2 donuts ready to go. I need to have 6 ready to go. So I'm going to have to lickety-split, make more donuts. Have to make it fast. What do I mean by fast? I mean 3 words. What are those 3 words, Daniel?
Chip, chop, chip.
Laney got it first. Chip, chop, chip.
What about 4 letters?
Which I'm not allowed to say. Why am I not allowed to say that?
Said it.
I surveyed the kids not long ago, and I said, we've been together a couple months now. What do you want me to start doing that I'm not doing? What do you want me to stop doing that I'm doing? And what do you want me to do differently? You know, as a parent, that's a good question to ask. If they say, how about dessert first at dinner instead of the main course? No, there's some things that are going to be off limits, but you can learn some things about, you know, that whole thing about fathers do not exasperate your children. Sometimes I do that. And so I'm learning as we go. And so I learned that they don't like it, that when it's time to go and do something, get her done. And I say, come on, let's go, chip, chop, chip. They don't like that. So I agreed not to say chip, chop, chip anymore.
Laney doesn't like that.
A close cousin is Doritos Lumberjack Doritos. They know what I'm really saying. So that one may be outlawed soon too, who knows. Okay, I have made now 6 donuts, so we're ready to go for the next batch. Let's look at these, because it's been some period of time, and see how our donuts are looking. Oh, hot diggity! They be ready. Like that, and you drain it for a few seconds. You don't have to wait there 10 minutes, because remember, these other ones here are still cooking. You don't want them to burn, right? So I drain out a few seconds. So notice we're starting at the 11 o'clock position, then the 12 o'clock position. That's important in just a minute, because we're going to be putting them into the cinnamon sugar mixture.
Can I put this one in?
Can you what?
It looks dry.
Yeah, it does look dry now. Don't touch! Laney, that's my job. All right, when children are helping, especially young children, they have no clue that that thing is still very hot. I have calluses on my fingers, so I can handle it. Little girl, no, she's gonna burn herself. Okay, there we go. So we take the first two, and somebody with calluses on their fingers does. Take the first two, you put it there, and you put it there. And look at how she does it. She has the technique down. Just dump it on there. Perhaps I should demo the first one.
No.
Yeah, I think I will. Okay. We don't daintily put it in there. You dump it on there. See? Dump, dump, dump. And then, yes, with your hands, you roll around.
That.
Like that, roll around like that. And then what do? A second time, you do another dump. This one horizontal. And do a dump. Why do you do that? Because then, when you open the oven door, like this, wait, you shake it. That's going to leave some extra, no, cinnamon sugar mixture on there, and then you put it in the pan. Go ahead, Laney. Show them how it's done.
Ow, it's hot. 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 Ow, that's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. That's why you have somebody with calluses on their fingers do that. Now, the whole time, these others have been cooling. So Laney will now be able to handle these. Because they're hot, but they're not as hot as they used to be. Let's put in our next donuts. 1, 2. Notice how you drop one in and then release, pull your hand away. Very important not to get burns that way. See how they're fizzing? That is just about right. I wouldn't be surprised if the temperature was currently 297 degrees in the oil. Let's take a look. $290, $291, $292, $293, right near 300 degrees. That's pretty good right there. I just put those in and they're cold, so I'm going to bump the heat up from 2 to 4. And I'm going to get them a little more around the perimeter of the pan. Why? Because I'm OCD. Actually, I'm not OCD. I might be, a little bit in some categories. How we doing over there, Laney girl?
Good.
Okay. Can we dump one more on there? Can we give it a shake-ola? Put it in here. Now remember, the oven's set to 170. These aren't going to really cook more. This is to keep them warm. Because boy, are they better when they're warm. Right? Oh, you could have put these in there.
Oh.
We got 2 more. Oh, you want to do those? Okay, she's my helper. She's going to do that. And what I have left here is 4 more to make. So while those are cooking, I'm going to make the holes in these last 4 here. And normally we have music playing, but my phone is the music source, so we're not doing that right now. Whatever music tickles your fancy.
Kidding. Google's not going to want to play the song, so.
Let's check on these, see how they're doing. Oh, those have a ways to go.
I know, I just started them. I need to do the bottom.
As the know-it-all kid on Polar Express says, we have time to kill. Remember when he says that? Yeah. And while you're making donuts, some of it is about making the donuts. The other of it is having fun together and doing stuff. Because relationships are built through shared experiences. And this is an opportunity to build positive experiences. But only if the donuts turn out good. Just kidding. Hi, Abby girl. What are you up to? I love your hair. Have you done something different?
No.
She was wearing it on her head. Say like that.
For cinnamon strips, blocking the hole.
Are you squishing those donuts?
No.
My word, what are you doing, young lady?
It's getting stuck in the hole.
What's also fun is ridiculing your helper. I'm just kidding. See, oh, you know how to do the shake off. Do I do the shake off? These are probably ready to flip over. Yes?
Ooh, those look so yummy. Are you videoing this?
Yeah, so
For
Aunt
the
April knows how to
Morgans?
make it. Yes, Daniel?
Do you know how to make glazed
Well,
donuts?
did you show that?
Yes. It's been going for 30 minutes so far.
Dave, do you know how to make glazed donuts?
Yes.
I
To make glazed donuts, you get the keys to the car and your wallet and you drive to the donut store. That's how you do that. Now there is a way to make glazed donuts with a mixture. I haven't done it because this is easier. Tastes just as good. Are we gonna put these in the oven or are they over here being air freshener? What's going on here, Laney
You
girl?
can use it. I forgot to do the sides.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah, you gotta roll around to do the sides. There. Then we do the top, dump on, then we shake off like that, and we shake off like that. Did I do it right? Are you camera shy, Laney?
Oh man.
So yes, we did just wake up. Yes, I haven't put on my makeup, and yes, I did have surgery on my eyelids yesterday, so my eyes are extra poofy today. So if I look extra bad, that's why. Laney, do I look bad? She says I don't. Isn't she nice? Yeah, she's so kind. Let's check our oil temperature and make sure it's right around where it needs to be. Word to the wise, after you take the thermometer out of the 300-degree oil, do not take your own temperature. Just saying. Okay, it's up to 300 degrees now, or slightly over. So we're gonna move that back down to heat level 2. I was saying 350 before, really 300 is good. 300 is where you want it. Or higher. Not really below 280. Otherwise the dough starts to soak in more grease, oil, rather than be cooked by it. I've done this a lot, so there's some fine tuning to be done there. Then we greet our house guests. Melody,
Oh no.
where'd you get those donut seeds?
What?
Those are donut seeds, aren't they? Do they grow big? Look, she's watering them with milk. And Daniel's having, is that Frosted Flakes?
honey from
So they're not waiting for the donuts. Well, you know, the fact that, excuse me. The fact that they're waiting for donuts means I need to take them out of the oven and put them on the table.
Yeah.
How are our donuts looking, Laney girl?
Good.
Well, we don't know until we look at the bottoms of them, the part that's cooking. It's getting there. Probably one more minute, maybe less.
To get all of this done, you're probably.
It's really weird to me be doing this without music. And I look at Laney and I think,
Well, wait, let me see. There was something on the screen.
what song is that, Laney? Do you know?
Yeah. Sing it again.
Morning.
Sing it again.
Bless your beautiful hide wherever you may be.
Okay, stop.
We ain't met yet, but I'm willing to
Okay.
bet she's the gal for me. You haven't seen that movie, have you?
No. Well,
The movie, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
uh,
A famous musical. Again, we put the donuts
Is there a donut in there?
around the perimeter, beginning at the 11 or 12 o'clock position because I have a 40-watt memory. And this way, I might have a chance at remembering which ones I put in there first, therefore which ones have cooled the most. I don't recommend doing that, picking up a donut right out of the oil at 300 degrees, but I have calluses so it doesn't bother me. But as they say, don't try that at home. Oh, we are home and I did. Oopsie daisies. Well, girls can't do that, but I can, because I'm sometimes color outside the lines. Sometimes.
That one? Like,
A lot, actually.
Yes.
is that one still wet?
Yes. You can't touch that, young lady. You can't touch the first two groups because you got dainty little girl skin.
Dave was gonna go get bacon.
And so, we put our last group of donuts in the oil. This is usually the best way to do it, so we got things going in a smooth line, cooking and all, like that. And then, well, I can just pick them up. Oops, not that one. This one, remember? 11 and 12 o'clock position, David. Like that. Go for it, Laney.
Do you like pineapple? Do you like pineapple? No.
Oh, the other thing is these donut holes. We're going to put the donut holes in. Make sure you do these one at a time. And those will really make a big splash. So do it as close to the oil as you can and pull your hand back rapidly because believe you me, these homeboys, they will splash you. The other thing is they will, as you drop them in, sometimes they'll stick to the bottom. Don't worry about that. Most of the time, they will release themselves from the bottom with the bubble action. Okay, some of these haven't done that, so we're going to give them a release from the bottom. There we go. And because they're tiny, they will cook extraordinarily fast compared to big, thick donuts. I'm going to bump it up to 4 because I've detected that our temperature's gone down a bit. Now, donut holes are really hard to flip over. Sometimes you can flip them over and they'll stay that way naturally. My automatic timer went
They're
off
already
away.
starting to float.
Oh, they're floating, that's fine, but when you flip those things over, sometimes they don't stay flipped over. Now, see the bubbles are not as vigorous. So we're at 289, 289, 289. We're at 289. So that's why I bumped the heat up a little bit to get us closer to 300. You got those done yet, little lady?
Almost. This one's
Be sure to thank your help. Thank you, Laney. You're a big help, young lady. Let me bring the pan over here. Okay. We got another one there.
yeah, it's not ready yet.
My hand's burning holding this thing. It's been in the oven.
I know.
Well, we're young ones. Come on quickly. Now, Laney's fine when you put added pressure on her to see what she does. My hand is not burning. Pan's only warm. Laney really likes a question that I ask her sometimes,
What? Oh,
and that is, you know what you're doing there, Laney?
yeah. Oh wait, it's not done.
Hi, Mrs. Antone. How are you?
Oh, hey, good morning.
Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
I am good. I'm tired. I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Every time I feel like I'm ahead, never.
Sorry.
Laney.
It's gonna get better.
That's not ready yet.
More?
Oh,
Oh yeah, that
what
one's
you need?
not ready. Oh,
Caitlin or? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh no, it cut out. Sorry, it got silent for a sec there. I was like, what happened? Okay.
But you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So I just remember that
stop.
candy cherry
Work on your donuts.
a couple of years today.
You should
Yes,
have that
it's
side
fine.
cooking.
That's okay. It's supposed to cook.
Have you seen Caitlin yet?
Now, these
No.
donut
Have you
holes,
guys seen Caitlin yet?
some of them have not.
No.
Haven't seen Caitlin. They have flipped on their own. Others, I try to help them and they'll stay. Some I try to help them and they don't stay.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Do what you can.
Can you go get Caitlin up?
You do your best and forget the
Yeah, I'll
rest.
get 'em
Just
out.
like the P90X video.
I'm sending Melody up there too to just let her know to get up and get ready.
Not quite ready for the big donuts.
Be there in about 15, 20 minutes, maybe.
Okay, and have you talked to Melody because she jumped out of the van last night and she's saying her ankle is hurting.
Yeah, she did tell me that last night. Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. There you go. Laney, of all my donut helpers I've ever had, you are certainly the most recent. Now, Laney is an excellent helper. Yeah, see, those look perfect, golden brown, just the way they're supposed to be. These donut holes, some of them aren't staying flipped over, and you know what? That's okay. I won't pout, I won't cry. I'm just glad the cows don't fly. That's to see if people are paying attention around me. Oh, and an eavesdropper. There we go. Hey, you get the hang of it. This is how we make homemade donuts. Pick out your helper. The best elements of having a good helper are they're cute, they're teachable, and they're actually helpful. Bye. Enjoy your donuts.